Welcome to the TDC Today Show communities. My name is Sue Roscoff. The Disability Channel, or TDC, is located in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, showcasing abilities. TDC is committed to providing quality digital media production services, education, and employment programs by and for persons with disabilities and veterans. TDC offers digital media production, video production, post-production, social media, and podcast creation, production, and support. TDC offers education and employment programming, which includes digital media courses to persons with disabilities who are unemployed and underemployed. TDC also offers community partnerships. Through partnerships and sponsorships, community partners and organizations become ability champions by supporting media created by and for people with disabilities and veterans. And we are your USA team and so excited for all the things going on this week. If you've been tuning in at all with the Disability Channel, you know that there's a massive event going on this weekend. The very first telethon. We are going to have the Veterans First Initiative telethon, and you know it, your very own Jay Stoyan with the Disability Channel will be hosting the first 2 hours of the programming. And then we transition over to us at Project Die Hard, where you get to see this face on the screen talking to a whole bunch of our friends, one of which we have joining us this evening here to give some highlights. And then from ours, we send it on over to Phoenix. They get it for 2 hours, and then it wraps up in Los Angeles for the final 2 hours. The entire programming is happening on Saturday, June 7th, 2025, starting at 11 a.m. Central Time and ending at 7 p.m. So our personal piece with Project Die Hard goes from 1 to 3 Central. And don't forget, you get to see Jay and the gang all on there those very first 2 hours, 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. So no matter when you tune in, it will be awesome. There's going to be so much entertainment, so much good information, so many fun people. And speaking of fun people, I've got one in the back here that I cannot leave in the back any longer. We need to bring him into the spotlight. I have Ben Rusk joining me tonight. Ben lives in Virginia Beach, Virginia. He enjoys helping people all over the world look for treasure and end up with gold and silver. He speaks to business groups every week on the topics of gold and silver, wealth, and having enough money to live for the rest of your life. Ben Rusk is easily found on his website, I almost did it again, silvergoldlegacy.com. Let's say it again until it's in my head, silvergoldlegacy.com. You can find all the details there, but here we get to hear from Ben himself. Welcome. So I'm so glad that you're here with us today, Ben.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. So I know we're giving that tease here about silver and gold. Tell me more. What can you tell me about what that all is?
Well, it's the commodity that's been around for over 5,000 years. People say, you know, he who dies with the most gold wins. Well, it's
Exactly.
because, when it really comes down to it, it's the final evolution of investment strategies, right? You can invest in things as small as, I don't know, a commodity like rice, corn, or wheat, all the way up to, the Fortune 500 stock companies, right? But when you liquidate those things, right, because you got to sell them at some point,
Mhm.
where do you put all that money, right? The last vestige to invest in is gold, right? And if your budget doesn't allow for that, well then silver is the next best thing to purchase because silver's a little bit more affordable and it's easily stacked, wherever you expect to keep it. We were talking a little bit earlier about, well, what if I don't want to put it in my house because I don't feel safe? It's like, great. Well, we have a vault where we can store it for you. So now the fact that you can buy gold or silver for as little as $1 and we have a safe, secure place to store it, there's no better time and no other reason not to own a little bit of gold and silver should anything happen to our economy, you'll know that you have something to feed your family with.
And this is something that dates back since forever. People
Right.
have gathered gold and silver. And I didn't think to ask about this earlier. You've actually done that. You've gone out and found gold. Tell us a little bit about what that's like.
Well, for me personally, the first time that I saw gold in a mining pan, it was a life-changing experience. They talk about the gold bug. It is absolutely a thing, but it is a good thing, right? Of all the bugs you can catch in the world, I think that's the best one can hope for. Um, I tell the story about teaching people how to pan for gold. You can really do it anywhere. You don't have to be out in the mountains. There's bags of what we call pay dirt that you can order online, but it's not so much that it's a training bag, right? The the experience of seeing gold in the pan for the very first time, I have yet to have somebody see it and not put a big smile on their face. It's a feeling that overcomes you that I did it. I separated actual gold from you know dirt, black sands, worthless rubble, little stones, and it's like, but yet there it is. The gold is sitting in the pan, and people just they light up, they get excited when they see it for the first time.
I love it. It truly is that search for hidden treasure. It's out there. But what we're talking about here though with silvergoldlegacy.com and all the things with the coins and whatnot, you make it a lot easier than actually having to go out and pan for your
Right.
own. I actually think that's pretty amazing that that is an experience you've had and that you love to go do that. And now you know the value, you know all of that, and you can bring that knowledge and that background into what you're doing here and get to teach
Absolutely.
others about this.
Yep, I enjoy doing that very much. The educational process of helping people understand what we have to offer here. When you're a prospector, a miner, and you can dig gold out of the ground, you'll never be poor another day in your life because you know how and where to do it. But for others, they don't know, they don't have those skills. So we bring a simple membership. For just $149, you could start purchasing gold and silver for as little as $1. And that 149, that's a one-time expense. So not only are you going to have access to wholesale prices on buying gold and silver, but you're going to have your very own gold and silver business, which gives you, tax write-offs for, a self-employed individual, and all the rest of the benefits that come with the membership. It just makes you feel empowered to manage your finances. I mean, why weren't we taught to buy gold and silver in high school, right? Or even college? You know, they don't talk about how to grow your wealth. I have a short ebook that talks about 22 ways to increase your net worth with a membership for this gold and silver. So all of my new customers get a copy of that so that they understand that through the use of this membership, there's 22 ways that you can step into each one until you master it, but it's very simple instructions on how to increase your net worth.
Awesome. And I know that this is an option even for like a retirement account that nobody ever talks about. I don't, and until you introduced that idea to me, I don't remember any time in my life where I heard that as an actual viable option for retirement funds.
Right. So basically, what we have the ability to take a 401k or a traditional IRA that's typically backed by stocks in the stock market. We can roll that over to another traditional IRA, and you can select either gold or silver or some combination of both to then hold the value of your retirement account. So I talked to somebody earlier today and I said, if I offered you one of these coins, either gold or silver today, versus 10,000 of these, but but you got to wait 12 months to get it. Which would you take today? The possibility of 10,000, or would you take the reality of gold and silver? And the person said, absolutely, I want the gold and silver, right? Because I have no idea where the dollar bill is going to be at that time, but I know where gold and silver will be in either case, right? It's just the more sound investment. That's why we call it sound money. It's been around for 5,000 years, and and it's accepted around the world. You can go to any country and say, "Hey, I'd like to buy that, and here's how I'm going to pay for it." They'll say, "Thank you," because everybody understands the value of an ounce of gold or an ounce of silver, no matter where they are in the world.
It is universal. That is what
Yeah,
something that we always have heard about it, but it always felt like it was this thing out there.
right.
And it really is, it now is at a point where it's an option for anyone.
Everybody.
So
Absolutely.
I absolutely would love it if you would tell us a little bit about the gorgeous collections that are out there. That is something that I know I've gone online and looked, and they're beautiful. So you want to share a little bit about what I'm kind of hinting at?
Absolutely. So we have already produced many collections that are out there for people to look at. But here's the interesting thing. We have probably over 50 mints around the world that are bidding on the 150 projects that we have yet to build. And what we're talking about here is collectible MS-70, PF-70 quality coins, basically in perfect condition that we have designed from scratch. So it's not antique coins, these are brand new ideas. One of my sets is the Statue of Liberty. I have another set that's the JFK set. I have another set that's the Benjamin Franklin set. These coins are absolutely stunning. We have military coins like the USS Arizona. We have the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. These are sets of coins that have a story to tell. And that's basically the success of our collectible coins is that we're telling stories with it. My Ben Franklin series, it's 6 silver coins that it depict the segments of his life. The 1 ounce and the 2 ounce are the buildings that the money he set aside uh, financed the building of the Franklin Institute and the Institute of Science. And then the 5 ounce coin is a beautiful coin with his memorial embellished on the coin. So all of these coins have just incredible, sentimental value for me, which is why I collected those particular sets. But they're also beautiful for others. And the reason they're valuable is because we don't mint very many of them. The National Grading Company that actually grades these coins says that anything under 10,000 is a rare coin. We have a limit of 7,777 of any coin that will ever be minted. Some are as low as a few, under a dozen, up to maybe some under 500, and it makes them a really desirable coin. So when you think about a coin that there's only 498 on the entire planet and you happen to own one, you're in a special group of people.
Amazing. And one more that I definitely want you to share. Tell us about the picture.
So we now have the ability to on an ounce of silver, we have the ability to mint any picture that you can upload from your phone. This coin that I'm holding here is my grandson, and when the new technology was launched, I was the first one on there to order a coin and have it sent because I knew exactly what picture I wanted on there. But here, you can do anything with this. You can, use AI to create first, second, third place trophies on these coins. You could use it to print a challenge coin for your organization. I like the idea of birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, and graduations, right? Think of a 12 coin set representing every year of your child's school years, from first grade all the way up to cap and gown. Think about a wedding with a three coin set with the bride, the groom, and then maybe the hands over the cake, right? I mean, these are sentimental gifts that you just need to snap a picture, and then you can have these coins created to give as a gift, to your family, friends, and loved ones.
I just love it. I think that's brilliant. And that's something you're going to keep. You're not going to just give that away unless it's a hand-me down type. That's not the way to put it. An heirloom style of, I want to give this to my kids. That type of
You're
hand-me-down,
you're
That's
leaving a legacy.
leaving a legacy, which is exactly what your website says,
Yep.
silvergoldlegacy.com. So
Right.
full circle that truly is what this is. So I do want to poke forward just a little bit here because we have that telethon coming up in just a couple of days.
Right.
And I'm so excited that you'll be joining us for that. I'm actually going to share just a little bit of info on that since we are so heavily involved with us at Project Die Hard and with the Disability Channel. I'm going to just share really quickly here some information so that everybody can tune in and enjoy with us the uh the Veterans First Initiative website. So vetsinneed.org. Again, that was vetsinneed.org, takes you to this landing page, and you can see right there, we're less than 3 days away. It's coming really fast. And if you go to this page, see this watch live now button or live link? That's it. Go here, you click on that, and you can see any bit of the telethon. You can see the whole thing there. You can come and go as you please, but you click on that, and that will take you to the event. I mean, it's going to be out there in a lot of different locations besides this link, but truly, this will be the simplest thing if you don't know where else to go to get to it. Click on that. There's a lot of information on here about the event itself. We will be running, this is Eastern time listed on here, noon to 8 Eastern. And it will be running those first 2 hours with the Disability Channel out of Toronto. And then it goes to the Midwest. It's listed on here as Chicago. We've got our crew, which big chunk of it's going to be out of Milwaukee, actually. So we are going to be heading up the second 2 hour shift. So when we're talking Eastern time zone like this, we will be on from 2 to 4 Eastern and highlighting so many great people, so much good talent. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be amazing. From there, we hand it off to Phoenix, and they've got a massive lineup going on in the Phoenix market. And then those last 2 hours in Los Angeles. I don't even, oh my gosh. I can give you a little tease with some of the pieces that are happening in LA because they did list it on, is it this website? It might be the other one. So you might not get the actual tease here. They have, you know what? Let's do this quick piece. This is an announcement for the telethon.
Rich Honori here. Tune in June 7th and get ready to rock and get ready to see some incredible musicians, but not to mention some very incredible military people that are coming on board, Medal of Honor winners. You're going to see everything. So I'll tell you, this is the show that you can't miss. 8 hours of pure entertainment.
It is going to be amazing. I'm excited to see what all will be happening. There's a lot of surprises involved because I kind of caught wind that even with what we're doing in our Chicago market, we haven't shared much with the rest of the crew, and that wasn't exactly on purpose. It just is kind of how it's come together here. So I know they're all feeling a bit teased about what's coming from our corner of the world, and I'm excited for what we've got to share. There will be Oh my gosh. Speaking of share, I do see a guy in the background that is responsible for a lot of this that's going to be happening. Kurt has joined us, and I'm going to go ahead and bring him on in to share some perspective on what is all going to be coming up this Saturday.
Well, certainly from what you saw from Sue, it's going to be absolutely sensational. So just within the 2 hours of the 8 hours that Sue is going to be leading on Saturday from 1 to 3 Central, um, it's basically a culmination of our outreaches to about 50 people, including Ben here, that we said we really want to take the section assigned to us and just really, create a sequence here, a domino effect, one domino leading into the next domino and just really creating this ripple effect. And, People for a New America really has about 10 different components of it. But what you're seeing here is the 2024 agreement as the year ended 2024, the leadership agreed that with all the possibilities on the table, the most important one to pick up at the moment with this group, People for New America, would be veterans. And it so happened that Jesse Moore with the group had already formulated previously a whole format, Veterans First Initiative. So it couldn't have been more serendipitous in terms of how this came together. And it took a gentleman, Stu Newmeyer, out of Florida with SLTV. He's actually producing for DARE a telethon that'll be taking place on Labor Day weekend, just like Jerry Lewis did with telethons. And, so it's just a lot of, warm-hearted people, great thinkers, visionaries. Like Richie said, all the musicians, the multi-platinum artists, the concept behind, Richie's plan was Solution Revolution and, having had the birth of a movement last October, which was a Unity, Peace, and Freedom Music Festival, is that the whole traction to through the music industry is Woodstock meets We Are the World. And then it comes to be that a friend of ours out of Milwaukee that we lost touch with for a handful of years had, in that hiatus of our contact with him, Mike Raber, who will be on Saturday, he has a whole premise of 100 million. So a 100 million project and a, peace event, 24-hour youth peace concert and so forth. So you're going to be learning about so many things that is knocking the socks off of Sue and me. If you actually saw me right now, I'm literally not, I don't have any socks on right now. My socks are knocked off. But, so the idea is we're going to come out in true Saturday sensational entertainment fashion, and we're going to be splicing in a lot of nuggets that for the week ahead, and we're coming out like June bugs and creating the summer Hummer here. We're pouring it on, and it doesn't mean anything without you. So we're excited to see the response that you'll have. Please light up our social media. Go on to Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, X.com, everything that the Disability Channel has. And, really put your comments in there about how you enjoyed Ben Rusk tonight and through the telethon. Give us feedback there. Social media is key, and please do it with us. And we're going to be having a watch party with Spirit of the Game. Go to meeting ID 404-058-6152.
3.
No,
3.
404. No,
6-1.
look,
Oh,
no,
really?
404-058-6152.
Oh, wow. Okay, my apologies because I swear we had that conversation the other night and I looked and it was a 3. So it's 5-2. Now you know.
Yep. So there you go.
There
Come
you go.
on.
It's in the
Zoom
chat.
Yeah, come on to Zoom with that meeting ID. We'll have a watch party going. And like Sue said, watchlivenow.net is the video player. And we've got an embedded code if you want it on your website to promote your website through this. Reach out to us to get the embedded code. And with anything here, you can email Sue and me. Sue is Susan at projectdiehard.org. I'm Kurt at projectdiehard.org. And you can call my Google Voice line, text me 262-372-1754. Back to you, Sue.
Awesome. And I always like to put that last little nugget to remember. It is a telethon. The whole point of this is beyond the entertainment value. We're trying to raise money to support our veterans. There's a lot of good initiatives taking place. We have gift cards. One of the organizations, that is what their role is. They will be buying gift cards that directly will go to help our veterans. With the Disability Channel, they put educational programs together. Like you heard me saying at the intro, they educate people with disabilities and veterans in how to do media, multimedia, social media, all the things. This will pay for those courses. When you talk about the part that we are most closely related with here with Project Die Hard, we currently have one location, just one. But that needs to change. That needs to be finished so that we can move on and add more locations. Currently, we have 20 acres with a 10,000 square foot building in Makanda, Illinois. Part of it's been renovated. There's a working kitchen, like an approved, ready to go kitchen that events can be held there. There's a meeting space. What's missing is the rest of the building needs to be remodeled and a lot needs to be done because it's going to be turned into a place where there are sleeping quarters for as many as a dozen veterans and two that have families with them. And they can stay there for a night or a week, a month, up to a year until they can get done whatever it is that they need to get done to have another place to be. But sometimes we need that place to go at that moment, whatever that is for that individual. And that is what needs to be finished. So money raised will go to that effort. There's a lot of outreach that's done with the group. There's so many good things that will come from this, and it takes praying, it takes sharing this mission, all of these things. It takes volunteering. We need people, we need hands, and we need money. That's the last piece of that puzzle is it takes money to do these things. So a lot
Yep.
of good is going to come from this, and I'm so excited for where this is all going. And Ben, I do want to bring back to you. You are going to be a guest on the programming with the telethon. And I know you have a connection now with us with Project Die Hard. Do you want to share just a little bit about? I know you have a military background, and I'm going to just pass it back to you for a moment.
All right. Yep. I spent 9.5 years in the Air Force. My son was an Air Force uh, staff sergeant as well. We did lose him in 2019. So we have talked with Brian about opening up Forward Operating Base Rusk here in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and I would like to see that happen. So in order to provide some funds back to Project Die Hard and the telethon, I would like to pledge that for every membership I sell on Saturday, I will contribute $20 back to Project Die Hard for each membership sold. So we're looking for, veterans, entrepreneurs, anybody that wants to take a stab at maybe looking at a career in the gold and silver industry. Let me show you the way. Let me show you how I became a silver in this company and won a 100-ounce silver bar at our last convention. I mean, that's
How cool is that?
out 7.5 pounds that I won for free, and I can show you how to do that as well. So if you're interested, reach out to me, get more information, or just jump on board because every membership we sell on Saturday will contribute back to the telethon on Saturday. So that's the
Awesome.
plan.
Thank you so much, Ben. So again, this is Ben Rusk that's joining us, and you can reach him. You see his contact information behind him and his website again, silvergoldlegacy.com. What a night. This is amazing. I'm excited for what's going to happen on Saturday. So come on back for that event. We will see you there, Ben, and we'll see all y'all back on Saturday for that telethon to have some fun and to do some good. So with all of us here at the Disability Channel, as always, we thank you.